Hi, in this video we'll focus on POS Communications. We'll focus on the terminal list to start with and how to check communications. Then we'll show you how to send price changes both quickly and bulk updates to the POS. And we'll finish on sending users and security to the registers. First up, the terminal list. To see where your registers are configured, we need to open up the menu and type in POS configuration. You click on the terminals, and here you can see your list of terminals. I only have 2 terminals. You can see they're bold. That means that they're active. So if I do communications to the registers, both of those terminals will be communicated to. If for whatever reason a register fails or needs to be skipped with POS Communications, you can come in here and choose the deactivate option, and that will deactivate it from the list. If you do have a new register, we can just add it here. And that will add it to the list. When you hit save, the register will automatically become active. If you no longer have that register, we can just delete it and we'll no longer communicate to that register. You shouldn't need to come in here all that often other than to deactivate and activate registers from the terminal list, but we've also got our fuel settings, our voucher settings, and our discount settings here. If you do need to modify a discount level, you can come in here, just double click on the record and modify the discount. Once we make any changes to the list, we have to save. So to check that all registers are online and can be communicated to, you can do that through Check Communications. So from the menu, check Communications and press Enter. And then you can press Enter again, and that's going to do communication. So down the bottom, you can see here that Check Communication has been added. You don't have to wait for that to finish. We can go off and do something else. But while Check Communications is occurring, you'll see a little green dot next to the communications queue. If we open this up, double clicking it, you can see we have a job in the queue. Well, the job quickly finished already. And in the history, we can see that POS communication was completed. This gives you a complete list of all of the jobs by user that was sent down. And we'll go into that in some more detail. So we got communication successful, so we're all ready to go. So as you create products, modify products, deactivate products and activate products and so on, those changes need to be sent down to the point of sale. So we'll demonstrate that quickly. So let's come into our trusty Coca-Cola, 2 litre. So whenever you modify the primary supplier's normal sale or create a promotion, those changes need to those changes need to be sent down to the POS. So let's change this back to our RRP. And when we hit save, we can replicate our change to other products in the same family. Now to send this item quickly to the point of sale, we can just come in here and go Options, Send to POS. We'll untick Update Labels because we don't have any electronic shelf labels and say yes. And you can see again, you've been notified that the job has been added to the queue. And now it's started, and we can actually click here and go to the queue if we need to. You don't need to do this. If you just want to let it go, that's fine as well. So while that's sending down, you'll notice that when we did a replication to the family, it would have changed all of the normal cells for the other items in the family, but that sending of a price change only would have sent Coca-Cola 2 litre to the point of sale. You don't have to send each individual change to the registers. You can do a bulk of changes and then send those price changes like you would do in Grocery Manager to the point of sale. So we come into the menu and we go Send, and you can see send item price changes to POS. You can click on that. Here we have our options. You'll notice here that there's this difference between own changes and other users changes. If we just pause for a moment, this is another big change between Grocery Manager and Smart Retail. As each user logs into Smart Retail, we track the changes to products and items by that user. So if you had two users in the system, Mary and Bob, if Mary does a whole heap of price changes, when she comes to send price changes, by default, it will only send her changes. So that allows multiple users in the system to do as much maintenance as they want. And if those changes for Mary need to go straight away to the point of sale, she can come in and send price changes and not impact the other users of the system. If you do need to send all users, maybe you're the only person that modifies prices, you can just use this, but if you do need to send all users changes, you can select that as well. This is what typically happens in end of day. Any outstanding maintenance will automatically go down because all users changes will be sent. So let's just choose my changes. You can do a preview, and that will just give you a list of those products that have changed that need to go down to the point of sale. You can see Coca-Cola 2 litre was the only other active item in that family that changed. So we can take preview off. We're happy for that. Optionally, you can send offers, but if you know that this product is not in an offer, we can turn that off, but it's no harm to leave it on. And then we press OK. Send item price changes to POS. Yes. It gives you a warning that this new register that we added is not enabled. Just press yes if you get that message. When those registers come back online, they can be reloaded. So again, we've got our notification down the bottom, and that job has been added to the queue. So now we can close this and go on with our next task. So that was price changes. There are also the existing menu options that you have in Grocery Manager to send adds and replaces. So if you do activate something, or you do change the description of something, or change its GST, you need to send it as an add and replace. If you use the Send to POS option in the menu, this item will be refreshed as an adds and replace, so that's fine. But if you do a number of changes, like activating products and so on, and adding new barcodes or deactivating barcodes, you need to send them down as an adds and replace. So let's just activate this barcode. This will then enable this barcode at the point of sale. We'll just save and close. Then we can come into our menu, and one of the options under POS Communications is Send Item Adds and Replaces. So let's select that. Similar menu before. Items that you activate or create will only be sent down by default, but you can send all new products and adds and replaces down. And again, you can send down offers as well if you need to. So let's just press OK. Send item adds and replaces to POS. Continue yes. And there's our Coca-Cola 2 litre. Again, it's important to realize that you don't need to wait for those communications to complete. So as you can see, you're notified down the bottom with those toast messages, and those POS communications will complete. Additionally, the last option is to send deletes. So if you do deactivate something that no longer needs to be at the POS, you need to send down deletes to POS. Normally what happens is this just gets done at end of day, so there's no need to quickly delete something at POS. Similar options before. We can do a preview to see what's there. Bananas. Take the preview out, press OK. And that will send deletes down. So just to recap, an item can be sent to the point of sale directly from the options menu, send to POS. Or if you do a number of changes that need to be sent down to the point of sale, whether they're activating products or deleting products, you can come into the menu and choose the send deletes or send adds and replaces or send price changes. Likewise, you can also send offers as well if you need to. The last thing I want to show you regarding POS Communications is modifying or creating new users or cashiers that need to use the point of sale. So to do this, we come into our user maintenance, user and security. You can see all of the users of our system. Be aware that there is a username. This is the back office username, and then there's a POS operator ID. This is the operator number that's used at the point of sale. So to modify somebody's password, maybe Lindy has lost her password, so we can double click on that record, and here you can see the PIN number for that operator. So we just hit the pencil, we can type in our new password, confirm, and hit save. And now to send that user down to the POS, we use options, send. And this will resend all of the operators to the point of sale. If there's a new point of sale user, a new cashier that you need to add, within our user maintenance, we can come up to new here. Let's type in their name. So now we're in the user editing screen, so we can just enter a gender if we need to. A date of birth, this is optionally used when we're doing age verification at the point of sale. So you'll need that for if you do use that function. This back office user, if they're not to use the back office, then you can leave this blank. And here's the POS operator ID. So let's give them a POS operator ID and a PIN number. And whether or not they're active at the point of sale. You also need to associate that POS or that operator to a role. So if we come up to here, hit new, then we can select, are they an operator, are they a supervisor? So normally they're one or both of either operator or supervisor. So we'll select operator and hit save. Now that hit save again. So now we have a new cashier with a new operator code and a new PIN number. So now we come into options, send. Yes.